Hello, the purpose of this video today is to demonstrate the removal and installation of a fabric sling in an aluminum Chaise lounge, as you see here. The tools you're going to need to perform this operation are an adjustable clamp, regular screwdriver, rubber mallet, about a 12 by 12 piece of cloth that you can fold up, utility knife, pair of cutoff pliers. You'll need a little bit of Vaseline for part of the installation, a pair of vice grips, a 1/2 inch open end wrench, a cordless drill with a 3/16 hex head power bit, and of course your back and seat sling. The first thing you're going to want to do is take the back off your Chaise lounge. You're going to need your cordless drill and your 1/2 inch wrench possibly. You're going to take the back, fold it forward like this. Now there's a bolt and a nut on the other side of the back rail that attaches the back to the frame here. You should be able to put your drill in reverse and take it right out without even using the 1/2 inch wrench. You're going to take it out until it comes out of the frame, but not out of the 1/2 inch nut, until your back comes loose from the frame. And you're going to want to leave the bolt sticking through the nut just a little bit for when you reinstall it. And you take your back and set it off to the side. The next thing we're going to do is remove the sling from the main frame here. You're going to need your utility knife and the screwdriver. We're going to take the end caps out first. To take them out, you need to slide them in from the top. Be careful you don't cut your finger, and just pry it out just like that. It's pretty simple. You go to the other end here. And you're going to want to save these unless you order more for later on when you get your other sling in. Set them off to the side. Now the easiest way to remove your sling is to just cut it down the middle. You're not going to use it anyways. And be careful you don't cut your hand. Cut it right down the middle. And your sling will slide right out of the rails. Pull it out like this. And then you're done with that part. The next step is sling installation. The first thing you're going to want to do is take one of the rails off completely. You're going to need your cordless drill. And the easiest way I found to do this is to take the Chaise and put it on its side to take this rail completely off. And there's 4 bolts to take out. You're going to want to set your rail off to the side to get it out of the way, and your bolt. Now for the other side, you're going to want to flip the Chaise over the other way to make it easier for you to see. You're going to want to take the bolts about halfway out and leave the rail right on the frame. Now you're going to want to take your frame and put it in the upright position again. And now you're going to start your seat sling installation. You take your seat sling here. And with a seat sling, it doesn't matter, which end goes to which end. You're going to insert one end into the rail. Slide it all the way down the rail, down to the bottom. And you're going to want to pull it until it comes to the very end of the rail, so that both ends are actually right at the end of the rail. Now you're going to take your other rail, start at the bottom end, and then slide it all the way up to the top. The same as you did the other side, with it being right at the bottom and top of the rail. The next thing you're going to want to do is take your frame, set it back on its side, so the connected rail is up at the top, and your other rail is hanging down. You grab your four bolts, and your drill again, and get your bolts started. Okay, now this side you're going to want to run all the way down until it's snug. Until you see no gap here between the rail and the frame. You don't want to go too tight to compress the rail. Next step, you want to take your chaise and flip it over to the other side so you can tighten the bolts on this side. Now, we purchased this clamp here, which is also has a dual use as a spreader. You take this end, put it on the other side, and turn it over. It actually helps make this quite a bit easier. Take some of the pressure off of the bolt from the sling. You put it in there just like that. And compress the rail down. You're going to want to move the spreader down to in between the next two. Keep doing the same thing. Then one more time. Very end. There we have that part. Okay, now you're going to want to flip your chaise in the upright position. We're going to take the cutoff pliers and cut the ends of your sling cord off. On all four ends. Come around this side. Come Come off over here and tight up to the rail. Now you're going to take your end caps from earlier, put them back in. Same way they came out. Come around to this side, put these two in. Okay, now you've got the seat all done. You want to take that and set it off to the side and take the sling out of your back. You're going to take your back up here. And this is where you're going to have to use your spreaders that I showed you earlier. But first step, you're going to want to take the sling and cut it out of the back assembly. Cut it down the middle just like you did on the seat. Careful not to cut yourself. Now you're going to take your screwdriver and take your end caps out. Pry them out just like that. Pop the caps out like that. I'm going to take the sling, slide it right out. Should come out fairly easy. Put them off to the side. Now we're going to take our clamps that we had earlier to compress the back. Put it on both sides. I like to line it up with a stretcher right here. Just kind of gives it a guide. You got to compress the back to get the sling in. And use this as a guide here also. Now you're going to take your back and set it up like that. Now on this sling, it has the word label here. That needs to go to the top. So you're going to want to start down here at the bottom and work your way up. Get both sides started. You may have to compress the back a little more so that it's loose enough to pull it up. Gotta work back and forth. You get it all the way to the end. This is where you could use the vice grips and cloth if you need to. You would fold it around the edge right here. And grab a hold of it. Use the cloth so that it doesn't tear the fabric. And you could work from side to side like that. Or if you prefer using your hands, it works just as well. You want to pull it all the way down the very end. And now you're going to take your back, flip it over, and take your clamps off. It's going to pop quite a bit. Set them off to the side. You take your cutoff pliers, snip off your sling cords again. And any extra material that you see. Your end caps and your mallet. Those back in. Okay, now as I stated earlier, you want the bolt head that connects to the main frame sticking out about 1/8 of an inch, just so you can use it as a guide. Set your back out to the side. You can take your Chaise here, put it back up on the table. Take your back, set it back up on there like that. Get your back bolt started back in. Now you'll need your cordless drill and the 1/2 inch wrench. For this part, you're going to want to use the 1/2 inch wrench. I'm going to loosen it back a little bit. And you pull it towards you to tighten the nut. And tighten it down. Go to the other side. Wrench in place. You want to tighten the nut towards the frame to lock the back in position. And there we have it. That ends the instruction video. Have a nice day.